Oh, how you guys doing? We're going to take a little look at the forecast for the singles. I guess for last couple weeks of February, whatever. So this is not a collective air sign reading. This is one reading for each air sign. One for Gemini, one for Libra, one for Aquarius. If any of you need a personal reading, all the information on how to go about doing that is in the description of this video. All right, Gemini, let's see how things are looking with the person that you're interested in specifically. Only singles interested in someone specific, whether you're dealing with them or not. Because I know that usually when I do the singles reading, I'm looking at a love interest that you're actually dealing with. But I'm going to try to blend them in together. Let's see. What's one of the most common cards to come through? The Hangman. No movement. Damn it, man. All right. Oh, High Priestess reversed. So some of y'all are wrestling with your intuition about something. You don't know if you're intuitively picking up on something or if you're just making things up in your head and overthinking things. Oh, damn. Now, this is, and I got to be general about this. I can't be too specific, but it feels like some of y'all are giving up on this after finding out about a third party. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Damn, dog. Throwing in the white towel, throwing your hands in the air, saying, well, fuck it. All right, I guess that ain't happening. Time to move on from this shit. Oops, that was reversed. Whatever. Time to move on from that. No love offer is being extended or accepted. Okay, well, maybe there'll be other open doors of opportunity. Maybe. All right, well, let's just see what's coming in general. I think that's how I read the rest of it, wasn't it? Trying to remember how I did the fire sign video. Dude, what's coming in general? What's due to come in? Some of y'all got a Leo headed your way, possibly. Not a bad combination either. That would be a pretty decent energetic combination. But you know that no matter the energetic combination, if both parties aren't utilizing their energies to the best of their ability, doesn't matter what the combination is. So ooh, y'all are real close. Y'all are real close, but you already know what I'm gonna tell you. Let's start off with the good news though, and that is long-term stable commitment, potential life partnership, potential marriage, all that good shit. But you'll be tested first. I know y'all are getting so sick of hearing me say that. I know, but that's the way it goes, dude. That's the way it goes. I ain't never met nobody with their divine life partner who wasn't tested. And it happens when you least expect it. Even the test happens when you least expect it. Everything happens when you least expect it. I'm not digging up all that, you know. But the good news is a test means it's something that you've been through before. I do a lot of Zoom call readings, a lot. And I'm not going to say that comes through all the time, but it comes through fairly regularly that I'll tell a client, you're going to be tested. and they almost always have the same look on their face, like, like this look of, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't no big deal. You've been through it before. A lesson and a test are two different things. A lesson is what you want to be scared of. That's that's when your butthole wants to pucker up because there's no way to avoid that because there's nothing about it that is within the realms of familiarity at all, right? There's nothing about this person, there's nothing about this situation, there's nothing about this environment that's anywhere near the realms of my familiarity. That's a lesson. Yeah, those suck. They suck bad, like real bad. But first you're given the lesson and then you're tested on it. And as long as you learn the lesson, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Easy breezy. Easy breezy. Well, so I'm not pulling advice spreads for these, but the only thing I think I can give you is to just don't spend too much time overthinking it. Right? You want to feel these things out. Feel it out. If you ever find yourself trying to figure it out, that's a bad sign. Because when you do meet your person, ain't gonna be nothing to figure out anyways. Do you think you're gonna have to sit and rack your brain trying to figure out your divine life partner? No. So if you even find yourself trying to figure someone out, that's a bad sign in and of itself. Feel it out. And I think a whole bunch of you before 2026 is over going to be with your person. Whole bunch of my whole fucking audience is going to be with their person this year. Whole bunch of you. Unfortunately, probably not all of you. I mean, that's obvious. I wish I could make it that way, but my goal is to help guide as many people onto that path as possible. All right, I'm blabbing. Libra, let's see how things are looking with the person you're interested in, specifically whether you're dealing with them or not. Oh, losing interest. Oh, that was quick. What happened there? Losing interest. Damn, dog. It's not even telling me why. It ain't even telling me why. Usually, like, okay, in the Gemini reading, something kind of like that happened, but it told me why. Or it at least gave me a crumb, something to grab onto. This didn't tell me nothing. I guess I'm not going to say that there is no catalyst for any of you. Maybe it could be anything, but I feel like there's a little handful of you that just woke up one day and the wind blew in a different direction, and you was like, yeah, fuck that person. No, I'm good. I don't know why. I just don't care anymore. I don't know. It's not telling me. Not telling me, maybe. I mean, a lot of times, one thing that I see very frequently is even if there is no catalyst, what I see so much of in my line of work is people who are interested in someone, and whether you're dealing with them or not, it going nowhere for a really ridiculously long time, especially if you're dealing with them. Oh, people are getting strung along for 9 months, a year and a half, 2 years. And even if this is somebody you're not really dealing with, you're just kind of interested in, sometimes that'll sit and linger and linger. I'll have people come to me for a reading saying, I've been interested in this person for the past 5 years. That's way too long. If the universe ain't made nothing happen by now, But sometimes, maybe it just you just woke up one day and said, "Fuck it." I don't know. Let's see what's due to come in then. That was weird, wasn't it? What's due to come in then? What's coming in generally for Libra? Well, there is somebody I think interested in you. They're just too afraid to approach you. Yeah, this is telling me somebody that's interested in you that you know of, that's too afraid to approach you. Hang on, let me see what comes out. Yeah, my thing though is that I'm not convinced that you share the same feelings. Some of y'all know exactly who I'm talking about immediately as soon as I say that. Like maybe there's that one person at work that you know is into you, and it's just like kind of like, ew, I hope they like fucking back off. We've all been in that place before where that person's interested in you and you don't want to be mean. Either that or you're in an environment where you have to keep things professional. You don't want to cause tension. So you're just kind of hoping that they'll just leave you alone and they don't. We I think we've all been there. Maybe that's what's happening for some of you. But yeah, looks kind of like a quiet week, honestly. Kind of like a quiet week. Feels to me like there's somebody in your circle who's interested that you're not really all that interested in, but they just don't really know how to approach you. And or they're patiently waiting on an open door of opportunity in which right now there is not one. You know what? I got a lot of shit in this one spread here. I'm trying to boil it down to as few points as possible. But I'm also getting here that some of y'all are reconnecting with a past person too. I mean, I can't really steer around that. That's past energy right there. I think there's too many different groups of you here. But on the other side of all this shit, I don't think. See, this kind of feels to me like you're on a solo journey while you release energy. All right. Because what's due to actually come in, long term commitment. That's what's due to come in. I think it's too much shit to generalize. But some of you are dealing with somebody interested in you that you ain't interested in. And that'll run its course. I know sometimes it feels like that takes forever. Some of you are going to be reconnecting with a person from the past, but regardless, on the other side of all that, none of that shit's going to go anywhere. None of that shit. This person right here is not somebody you currently know. No, it is not. That's another one of my most frequently asked questions. Am I going to end up in a relationship with anyone I know? Well, first of all, when you come to me and ask me that question, I already know you have somebody in mind. But very rarely, I could probably count on one hand through in the 8 years that I've been doing this for a living, how many times I've answered yes to that question. It's very rare. So what I would just how do I explain this simply? You know what? I think this needs to play out the way it's going to play out. I think it needs to play out the way it's going to play out because I don't think this is a test. I don't think you're being tested. I'm not going to use that term, but if there was a lesson you didn't learn, whether you're being tested or not, you're still going to have to repeat the cycle. Even if you're not being tested, even if it's not a test. If there's some sort of lesson that wasn't learned, you will repeat that cycle. But I think the majority of you, it's going to play out the way it needs to play out. right? Because this is a big learning curve, an expansion of consciousness, right? And I think this one's on you. And you know, I rarely say that, very rarely, very, very rarely. All right, Aquarius. Anything good happening with the person that you're interested in specifically? There's got to be one sign. Give me some action on this reading. Come on, let's get some aces or pages in the upright. Or how about a 10 of cups? Do, 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 nervousness, anxiety, fear. Hang on. Do you be stalking the hell out of this person? Damn, dog. Why this guy come out for everybody? Why that guy come out for everybody? That's my throwing in the white towel card. And again, let me remind you all, I have 22 tarot decks here on my table. 22. I never pull two spreads in a row with the same deck. Every time I pull a new spread, I grab a different deck. Why do I do it that way? I don't fucking know. I didn't learn that from nobody. That's just something I started doing because tarot cards are fucking cool and I get bored easy. So I like grabbing different decks. But one thing I don't do is pull two spreads in a row with the same deck ever. So when the same cards keep coming out, there's a reason for that. And for some reason, this fucking card always comes out when we're talking about the person that you're interested in. And this is the card that's tied to the phrase throwing in the white towel. See, he's surrendered. He ain't got no choice but to surrender. That's rock bottom right there. Rock bottom. Hmm. But then at the same time, we also have this down here, which would indicate that you're not abandoning this. You're not walking away from this. So what's going on? Is that why? Is that why you appear to be having a mental breakdown right now? Because there's a part of you that wants to give up on this and another part of you that just can't. Ace of Cups reversed. I think are you contemplating? No, I don't know, man. Still waiting though. Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like this person is interested in you, but they just can't. I feel like what I'm getting here, I'm getting a really strong sense of two people on completely different vibrational wavelengths. Completely different. Like, y'all do not speak the same vibrational language, the same emotional language, the same love language, like at all. At all, at all. And even two people interested in each other, which I think y'all are both interested in each other. I am seeing feelings on both sides here. If you don't speak the same language, don't matter. Don't matter. It ain't going nowhere. How many of you have been in that situation? I have plenty of times. It don't go nowhere. Well, what's due to come in? When I say what's due to come in, I mean what is the next soul contract due to come in? If you just throw your hands in the air and say, all right, universe, we're doing it your way. I'm not going to try to force nothing. I'm not going to try to fight nothing. I'm just going to stay in my lane and you do the rest. What's the universe going to bring into your life? What am I attracting? Communication. Why is this shit? Oh, you know what? We about to go into Mercury pre-shadow. Oh, right. Oh, I forgot about that. That makes sense. Well, I see communication coming in, but you might want to be careful. I mean, sometimes there's not really a lot you can do to avoid it, but something makes you nervous. Now, here's the thing. See, we got the Empress here. This is for everybody, dude. Everybody. Um, Honestly, I think this is somebody trying to play games with you. I think so. Because it feels like there's a third party involved. Does that mean it's somebody who's currently in a relationship? Maybe. I don't know. No idea. Or maybe it's somebody fresh out of a relationship. Man, I just need me a little booty call just to get this person off my mind and make me feel better about myself. I feel all worthless now because I know they're out fucking somebody. I gotta go fuck me somebody real quick. Right? Oh, will you give me a chance? Well, I'm gonna blow all kinds of smoke up your ass. You know, I'm gonna say all the right things or try to at least. But see, you're a little bit more intuitive than that. You know, this person's trying to spit all kinds of game up your ass, and you feel it, man. You feel something is off. Woo, you feel something's off. Something triggers your defenses. Your spidey senses start tingling. You're like, something is off about this. It just does not fucking feel right at all. I can't put a finger on exactly what it is. Something feels off. And I think you got enough shit you've been bottling up anyway. And it don't take much. I think your bullshit meter is like maxed out. And yeah, I don't think you're in a game playing mood this month, are you? I don't think so. You probably didn't played enough games. You're still healing from the last game you played, right? It don't take much. Ow. But what have I been telling everybody for the past month, 2 months? Everybody, like 10 out of the 12 signs. On the other side of this shit, blessings. Blessings. I don't know if I would say this is a test, though. I don't have the card for that. When I say that, I don't say that for no reason. There's a card that I'm looking for, a specific card that I'm looking for. I don't have the card for it, but if it resonates, take it. Maybe some of you are being tested. I'm sure some of you are. But whether you're being tested or not, when you got somebody fucking playing games with you, the only thing I'm going to say is try not to let this happen. Man, I know, dude. Oh my God, I know. I'm a human too. We're all regular ass humans. You know, we all get fed up with stupid ass bullshit. And, we all have that tipping point where, you poke the bear enough and pow, the bear pops. I know, dude. I know. But if you can try to avoid that, I would do that because the only thing it really does when you let that happen, it may feel good for a minute. Oh, I know how good it feels. Oh, I know how good it feels. It feels real good. But at the end of the day, all it does is create a big ball of nasty shit energy that you're carrying on your back now. Even if you're 100% justified, doesn't matter. Energy, frequency, and vibration does not discriminate. It does not judge. It does not care. Doesn't matter if you deserve it or not, or if they deserve it, or if you're a good person or a bad person. Doesn't matter. It's still going to manifest the way it manifests, no matter who you are. And it's going to create a big old nasty ball of shit, crappy energy that's just going to weigh you down on your path. And best case scenario, it will push out the timeline and delay the next person long-term commitment from actually coming in. Worst case scenario, it could potentially block it from coming in altogether. I don't think most of you are going to have to worry about that, but that is a possibility. That's why if you come to me for a personal reading and you get the future love reading, what's due to come in next? The first thing I look at, how many of you got in that reading? The first thing I look at is the status of your last soul contract. First thing I look at. You ain't asking about no past person, but you know what? I am, because I want to know what you did with that energy. I want to know whether or not the soul contract was completed successfully. I want to know what kind of soul contract it was. I want to know whether or not you've actually processed through that energy, because that's going to affect what comes in next. That's going to affect your energetic pathway moving forward. That's what plays the biggest role in what comes in next, is what you did with your past, with the last person you dealt with. So, all right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my air sign family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right. I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay